Welcome back to Discussion America. All right, this week we're going to talk about Social Security. We're going to dispense a little bit of a myth. All right, the Social Security Fund the trust fund has been around since 1939. Okay, and it's never been in the general fund. All right. That said, the confusion might have come by the way they talk about it in the budget. It's either on budget or off budget. Because it's mentioned in the budget, it makes it sound like, okay, they're putting it part of the budget, they're playing with it, but they're not. Okay. That doesn't mean they haven't been playing with the money. It's been raided. It's been raided several times. Okay. It hasn't earned its money since 2009. It hasn't made any money on its own since 2009. Matter of fact, what's happening right now is that it's paying out more than it's taking in. It's in 1983. Was it 83? Let me double check the figure. 1983. There was a Greenspan Commission that Reagan signed because of Congress. There was a Democratic Congress, and on the recommendations of the Greenspan Commission, they raised the payroll tax to build up a reserve for the fund, so that it can build up the reserve, so there'd be more money for the baby boomers when they retire. Well, it worked. There was a lot of money in there, and guess what? Congress started looking at that money, and they just couldn't keep their grubby hands off, and they started spending it. Yeah, they started borrowing against it. They started borrowing the money. They borrowed it to help finance wars. They started borrowing it to build up the military. They started borrowing it for everything. And it wasn't just the Democrats. It was the Republicans. It was the Republican presidents. It was Democratic presidents. The Republican Congress, Democratic Congress. They all had their little grubby little hands in our retirement fund. Okay, to the tune of now is up to $2.85 trillion. And what it is now is that what they use the money for right now is interest on our debt, to make our debt look smaller. So the monies that they borrowed is to pay the interest on the interest. So it's not even for outside programs. It's interest on the interest. So they don't even get anything for it. If they were to pay it back, there would be absolutely no problem with the Social Security Trust Fund. If they don't pay it back, well, then there's a problem with it. Okay? See, that's what the issue is. There is nothing left. We're supposed to have a reserve. Now we're talking about a reserve above what we collect. A reserve of $2.6 trillion. That's what our reserve should be. Our reserve is gone. They spent it all. They spent our reserve. All we have is what we collect. So we collect, and it goes right out. We collect, it goes right out. And the government subsidizes it at the tune of $0.6 trillion. 0.6, that's it, 0.6. Not like they're pumping a lot of money into it, it's 0.6. Meanwhile, they owe us, what? What they owe us? What did I say before? Come on. Pay us our money. Pay us our money and we won't have any problems. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, people. You're talking, the national debt is at this time in 2017 is $20.5 trillion. And we're talking about 60% of our national debt we hold. We hold 60% of our national, we hold. There's China and other countries, we hold the rest. Think about that. We, the workers, the American people. Right. $2.85 trillion they owe us. And if they paid it, we got our reserve back, we have no problems. But to hear our Kentucky Senator, Mitch McConnell, who's been a senator for 34 years. 34 years. Give it up. He should be a poster boy. He should be a poster boy for term limits. 34 years? Come on, give somebody else a shot. No, keep voting him in. And now you're going to vote him in, and guess what? He'll be living high in the hog while you're scraping and scrimping trying to get cat food to eat because you can't afford to eat because he killed your Social Security. Him and anybody that supports him with regard to Social Security, if you don't vote him out, you're a fool. Don't believe what he has to tell you. Don't believe what he has to tell you. This is not an entitlement. He's calling this an entitlement. This is not a government handout. This isn't the government saying, oh, look at these poor old people. Let's give them some money because they're old and they're retired. They don't have anything to retire on. Garbage. It's our money. We put into it. We're the ones that put into it. I want my money back. I want my money back. I'm tired of this here. They steal from us every which way they can. And now that we're getting older, they're going to take that away from us too? Come on. They tax the hell out of us while we're growing up, while we're raising our families on everything. Sales tax, gas tax, payroll tax, and we have no choice. See, that's what bothers me. We have no choice but to put into the Social Security Trust Fund. This is not a choice, check a box, yes or no. We have to put in. And now you're going to take it away? Medicare? Social Security? Because, it's costing the government too much money? Excuse me. If you didn't rate it, and if you didn't take the money and just leave us with nothing, there wouldn't be a problem. You were supposed to safeguard that money and invest it in guaranteed money, guaranteed bonds, guaranteed investments to build the money, build a reserve. That's what you were supposed to do. Not squander it on this and that and everything to build your military, your debt, pay your interest on your debt, make your country's debt look smaller. That's where the money went, people. And you keep voting these people in. You keep voting these people in. How sick are you? We're to blame. We're to blame. You, me, we're to blame because we keep voting these idiots in. I have absolutely no idea, like you probably had no idea of all of this garbage going on until I did some research on this here. Research of what's going on. And what sparked this is a video I just happened to see on Facebook. I'm flipping through Facebook and I see this idiot talking about how Social Security is going to have to go because it's draining the nation, it's costing too much money, and our national debt's going too high because of this here of this. This is ridiculous. I'd like you to see this video. You're going to watch this video of him talking, and you're going to look at this. And if you don't get sick to your stomach listening to this man talk, then there's something wrong with you. Watch this video.
A few moments.
I have to ask you about the national debt. $21 trillion. The deficit, $779 billion. Some predicting that could reach $1 trillion in 2019. What's going on with the debt?
It's very disturbing, and it's driven by the three big entitlement programs that are very popular: Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid. That's 70% of what we spend every year. The subject we were just discussing, the funding of the government, is about 30% of what we spend. There's been a bipartisan reluctance to tackle entitlement changes because of the popularity of those programs. Hopefully, at some point here, we'll get serious about this. We haven't been yet.
And it would appear, if you kind of look at the tea leaves, that divided government might actually yield to entitlement reform, or at least make it easier.
Well, we had that opportunity during the Obama years, and I talked to President Obama about it a number of times. It would have been the perfect time to do it. Think of Reagan and Tip O'Neill coming together in the early 80s to raise the age for Social Security. It took it out of the political arena and made it possible for it to be successful. That's what we had the chance to do during the Obama years, because we had divided government for 6 of his 8 years. Unfortunately, it was not achieved.
You sick. The Social Security Administration has collected about $15.7 trillion. That revenue falls broadly into 3 categories of revenue. Payroll tax, $13.4 trillion. General fund subsidies, $0.6 trillion, and interest on loans, $1.7 trillion. The vast majority of resources spent on benefits for retirees. Clearly, retirees are not other. In total, benefits have cost $13 trillion, or roughly 82% of all revenues ever collected. It is roughly the same amount as the system collected in payroll tax. In other words, 82% of whatever was collected was paid out for benefits. That means the rest of the money was hijacked. The next largest use of the trust fund resources finances the government's debt. This is the payment of interest. Interest on the interest. Interest does not pay for one brick of the bridge to nowhere. Interest represents the cost of borrowing money. Interest today accounts for more than 60% of the $2.8 trillion trust fund, all of which has bought nothing but time. If the money is not repaid, it means that money was used to pay for time value of money, not other government programs. If it's repaid, the money will be used for benefits of the retirees. Oh, man. This guy here is calling it entitlement. The government thinks it's entitled. The government thinks it's entitled to my money. The government thinks it's entitled to your money. And you and I are fools for letting them get away with it. You and I are fools for not calling them to task on us here. You know what I want to see? Here's what I want to see. I want to see this new Congress that was elected, this new Democratic Congress, write a damn bill. Write a damn bill making it illegal for any government agency, any president, any Congress to touch that fund for any reason whatsoever, other than to invest it in a government bond, a secured bond, where it's not going to get lost, it's not going to get damaged, we're not going to lose our money, but only earn money on it. I also want them to attach to that bill an avenue of which all our monies that you stole, that the government stole from us, to be repaid in a timely fashion with interest. Pay my money back. It's my money. I want it back. And you, as a citizen of the United States that paid into this system, since the first day you worked, it's the first day you paid a tax or payroll tax, if you don't get up in arms about this and call your representatives, write your representatives, and you in Kentucky, if you don't vote that SOB out, you're a fool. If you don't get on your representatives' backs to make a law for term limits, you're a fool. 34 years for what? And to get that kind of power? Nobody should have that kind of power. Now in politics, they're thieves, they're dogs, they lie, they cheat. That's what you're about. That's what they're all about. I don't trust any of them. Neither should you. We let these people run our lives for too long. Too long. It's time to take it back. It's time to watch the store. Watch your pocket. They're coming for your money. That's all they want to do is come for your money. There's no accountability for anything anymore. It's all about a money grab. I would love to see somebody have the balls to do a forensic accounting on every damn agency in this country. Every agency. Somebody have the balls to do a forensic accounting. Where's the money? What's it spent on? I'd like to see about that $25 nut and bolt that cost 2 cents someplace else. I like to see where my money's going to. And throw the SOB in jail that's wasting our money, that's embezzling our money. Anybody else, they'd be in jail. Any corporation, you get a head embezzling money like that, they'd be in jail. Not a politician. Oh, they really got to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar for that. They got to be a fall guy. And the people on the top of the ladder, they skate. They got the lower guy that's the fall guy goes to jail. This has got to stop, people. Forget this partisan fighting. Let's protect ourselves like Americans. Come together. Remember, united we stand, divided we fall. That's what they're doing. They're dividing us. They're dividing us on purpose. They're pitting us against each other. They want us to fight. They want us at each other's throat because guess what? When we're at each other's throat, we're not paying attention. When we're not paying attention, they're robbing the store. And we'll learn soon enough. And one more thing. I'm closing out this Social Security thing now. We're done. You saw the video. You hear me talking, rant and rave. One more thing. Senators, vote on that reciprocal bill with the carry permit. That's why you guys are still in. You got to vote on the bill Congress passed. The carry permit. You know what I'm talking about. And if you get to see this here, Mr. President, that's how you got elected. You got elected with the NRA on your back. Get that carry permit, the concealed weapon permit, the nationwide. You know what we're talking about. That's why you got in. Maybe that'd be the next subject. All right. Until next week, God bless you guys. God bless America. We all need it. Wake up. They're robbing the store. They're robbing us blind. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about the future.